Today, we are going to explore the Zedcraft Season 6 server. We're going to go look at the Western Ocean Loop. Hi, my name's Zermits, and I built quite a bit of it, and I'm super excited about it. It does take a long time to look at the whole thing, and so that's why it was never shown in any of the ZAF videos and any of the ZAF things. But I wanted to give you a, like a developer's view, right? What did I think of when I was going through and doing these things? And to start off, I just want to go through some statistics on what it is that was built. So we're going to record right now. You're going to watch me do this. The number of steps I've taken, the number of blocks I've moved. We're going to look at all that stuff, and then we're going to see again at the end what some of those things are. So we're going to go into statistics. Let's see if we can find out where these things are at. Distance walked. We'll just have to remember what some of these things are, because I'm going to hopefully pick up a horse. But we'll come back to this. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is I lit up the Western Ocean Loop using jack-o'-lanterns. 2,729 jack-o'-lanterns decorate the Western Ocean Loop. And I put moss carpet on them, so look how close those numbers are. That's pretty cool. And of course, I put down a few more pumpkins, so because I apparently have some jack-o'-lanterns left to use. You can see all those numbers are really close. The other thing that I would place when building the loop are those light sources, those lanterns. How many? And each of those lanterns have a cyan wood block. What are those things called? 208 normals. Oh, but that makes sense actually, because then I would strip it after I put it in. I wouldn't strip it first. So maybe there's 208 posts. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's just go ahead and say that that's the right answer. Anyways, so we're done looking at that. So you can see, yeah, that, and then I would strip it. I guess I could look at frog lights and stuff, or blocks. But that's the most weird thing that I wouldn't have used in any other build. All right, so on this path, as we're starting out, we always have these signs. This is like a nature trail. You take your kids to the little hiking thing, and it's super short, and it tells you about trees and bugs. Well, that's what these are. They just kind of help you understand what you're seeing as you go around. Most Minecrafters know what they're seeing, but you get the idea. It's a lot of fun. So welcome to the very long, very awesome West Ocean Loop path. Build it and started there. Lots of silliness. Go ahead and ride something, and feel free to build along it. All right, so that one doesn't have a lot of silliness in it. All right, so let's get going. One of the first things that someone had built, not me, was the stables. I wonder if it has a sign on there and who actually built this. I'll try to give credit to the builders when I know who it is, but I don't have them all memorized, so we'll hopefully... Is that appropriate? Come on, people. Ermel's Mob. Let's take that one. Yep, and okay. It's a lot of walking, so this will hopefully make it go a little bit faster. Let's go. The loop is mostly path block, as you can see. You can tell, hold on, there's a block there. So I tried to not leave that weird line of dirt that you'd get. So all of the steps when you go up and down, they'll have that extra block in there. Okay. Again, we're not quite silly yet. We're just talking about things that you might see along there that just had fun. We'll get to silliness as we start getting out to more things that I created. These signs that say Western Ocean Loop, again, that may not be consistent. Some might say West Ocean Loop. Some might say Western Ocean Path. I didn't stay consistent. I just, whatever I felt like writing when it came time to write the next one. In fact, some of them on the side that you can't see from the path, there might be some Easter eggs out there. There might be some funny things written on some of them signs. I don't know that I'll find them all today, because I think most of them are pretty good. As we exit the cherry blossom forest, it just kind of reminds me that we go through a lot of different biomes. And you can see, I can't put my cursor on it without putting his head on it, the mossy carpet, and you can see, all the lighting. So when you go through this at night, the mobs won't spawn on or very close to the path, but they can still spawn out there and still come to the path and give you a bad day. I tried to make ups and downs very smooth. I tried not to use stairs. I tried to use slabs and have it more of a smooth transition. And again, you can see that block underneath there. I didn't always get it. In places like this, right, I had to extend the mountain out. um, yeah, I don't know. It was just a whole bunch of stacks of dirt to make those sorts of things happen. Every once in a while you see these posts too, because most people will have a horse or something, and this helps them out. All right, so as we kind of get out... Oh, wait, see, this wasn't me. This wasn't me. I would not do this. Ha! Get out of here, you piece of junk. That was my Skiz impression. Want to build a bridge. Let's go to page 1. This amazing bridge was built by the amazing Dolphin Jersey. All right. Now, this was kind of the residential area. Everybody started Zedcraft Season 6 back in that space. We're starting to get into, the zone of... I had a lot more leeway in where I was going to go with the path, a lot more interesting things that I could do, kind of get away from it all, if you will. This isn't really a signpost. Somebody put a portal here. I don't know who it was, but I decided to be silly and put a glass cage around it and say, yeah, this is signpost number. Just kidding. Local scientists feel it probably opens our world to another dimension, and that is likely that lizard men wearing human skin have entered our world. That's still probably true, actually. Okay. I'm not hungry, but thank you. The lamppost was, I believe, Cinda Magnus's idea. They were, they thought it adds to the, yes, I know I'm on the right path. Now, I don't know how many paths you're going to find and think you're on the wrong path. But it does, from here, I can be, I can see up there where I'm going. And there's a couple spots where you can see, into the horizon, where you would be going with the path. In some places where I couldn't fit the jack-o'-lanterns, I had to resort, just because you would see the jack-o'-lantern on one side, right? It would be hard. You have to hide it on all sides. And I can't hide it there because the path is one thing lower, and so you'd see underneath the moss carpet. So I went ahead and just used these lights. But before we go all the way to sleep, I changed the color or the type of stair based on the biome, right? So we had some cobble. We're getting into mega taiga. I thought wouldn't it be fun if it was spruce. But you can see how well lit up the paths are. Again, I don't know if we're at mob spawning hours, but just you can tell already that the path is well lit. It's safe. If you're just kind of going through it at horse speeds, nothing that spawns off of the path is going to reach you on the path. And then along the path, the first thing that was built that's not a bridge is this little cottage. There's nobody who's labeled it. I don't know who built it. I don't even think someone in chat took credit for it. It's just a nice little fun right next to the path, something to look at. Like, oh, there's a house back there. So whoever did that, I appreciate it. I think that's neat. Having the path block in the sand, I decided, I could have put the dirt down and then used the shovel and made more path block. But I thought just, making it different. Like you want to have interesting things. And so you want a biome to feel special, right? You want it to be like, that was different. That was fun. So I decided to, you'll see this whenever we go through sand. Again, I'm trying to not be normal. All right. One of our first kind of, let's see, you can always tie up your horse. Thank you. We will visit all of the things, just because that's what this is a tour of. There's a bridge here that I didn't make, and I don't want anybody to update. So these signs say, don't update the sand. And then this says, the magic sand of Barba Beach are known to be immune to the powers of gravity and the taste of Doritos. Now, how they found out that sand was immune to the taste of Doritos, I don't know. I only report the news. I don't make it up. All right, buddy. Let's go. I want that. I want that. Okay, let's go. there's an area here where there's quite a few things to look at. So we're going to be getting off our horse and on and off and on and off quite frequently for the next minute or so. All right, buddy, stay here. Okay, we've seen these little, podiums out in the middle of nowhere, but now there's another type of podium, and we'll get to that in just a second. Pathinators, ideas for making the nice tunnel entrance. Nobody had an idea. One of the most cluttered areas along the West Ocean Loop. From here you can learn about ancient Zedcraft people. You can stare out over a lake or continue on under the lake. The West Ocean Loop continues down to the right in the underwater tunnel. The tunnel was built by Ermel and demands appreciation. Just go with it. It's better than arguing with him. Yes, don't argue with me. Just appreciate me. Notice me. Give me attention. So there's a trail ruins, which is kind of cool. And I made sure I went by it. And then this sort of setup, when you see it's a little bit more elaborate, is a deep history. Right? So it'll, instead of signposts, it'll say, this is a history book. The history of the terracotta ages of the Zedania civilization by Erasmus Arthur. The Zedanian peoples had a thriving and vibrant civilization. We can learn of their lives through studying ruins such as those before you. From these ruins, known to the historians as the Beast Trees Ruins, due to its discovery near the famous contemporary building, that should have just been a sentence, historians have learned about the royal Zed family and their love for pet Zilkers that lore states could make the Zeds float. Historians debate the claim of a pet that can cause someone to float. According to the famous historian Tonestus, nope. Alright, so just some silly stuff. And if you wanted to, feel free. You can go and I dug out everything around the ruins. People do this all the time. I'll just poke down there and I'm not going to go in there. So you can go down there and walk among all the gravel and inside dirt's been dug out. Leaving just the trail ruins as if I was a real archaeologist. And then this little skinny path goes around just so you can look at the lake. When you come across... Ah! Oh, no, I did it. I left it. I'm a bad person. You come across a really big body of water. It's like, do I make a big bridge? Do I try to go around? The problem is there's still some bases in the area. So there's a base over that way. And to go up and around, there's some bases. So I decided not a big bridge. What about a water tunnel? Again, try to keep things interesting. Try to keep things new. Try to keep the interest of the traveler through the whole thing. Okay, hold on. As a quick side note, there's, I think, 20 different bridges. And, man, I just got tired of building bridges. So I kept whining and complaining, asking nicely in the Discord if some people would help build them. I also asked that they take credit for it, but not everybody did. But this one's not mine. This was cool, though. I really like whoever did this bridge, whoever did it. Thank you so much. It looks really awesome. But people came out and... Big Phil's base, actually. That's who it is. I know. I remember now. Just came to me. This is another cool bridge, right? You go through a little torii gate. Again, somebody built this. Obviously, somebody built it. I'm just saying it wasn't me. That's really cool. Thank you, whoever put this together. This one looked a lot of fun. I'll look at it from this side. Very cool. Okay, now this spot is a very interesting spot. It looks normal. You're like, what's so interesting about it? I've seen spruce trees before. Well, let's read. This unassuming pit to the north of you, which is to my right, takes you very quickly to the bottom of the world. Large lava pools await the winged visitor. It's fun to fly around. An electric course has been built. Please start near the white terracotta. Follow the yellow rings. The white terracotta will get you down into the tunnels, and blue wool will lead you out. Maybe set your spawn. I don't need to set my spawn. Okay, very quickly, because from this one spot, That is the bottom of the world. That's the lava at y equals minus whatever the bottom of the world is that has lava lakes. So it's kind of cool. You can see from the top all the way in. Such a deep cave. Should we do this? Let's do this because we're doing all the things. Okay, so this white line, right, you can see kind of guides you through. All right, do I have my elytra on? That would have been funny. Let's actually put my helmet on too in case I smash my face. All right, here we go. Oh, through the yellows. Ay, yikes, my face. Perfect. This is supposed to be an arrow that's pointing down this way. And then you got to go kind of like hover through and down following the white terracotta. And then it goes into this offshoot tunnel just because it was big enough to use. I thought it would be fun. Eeks. Oops. Up. Over. Okay. And then up here. I totally did not miss that. Okay, I missed it. I feel so bad. Turn around. Okay, now we blue wool. Light blue wool, right? Okay, let's get out. So you go back through these. Ow, my face. I decided not to have the blue wool here as well. Maybe I should have. But the blue wool picks back up here. And it goes down here. Scary, scary stuff. Okay, I missed it. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. Ow. Ooh, give me a second. Yeah, down at minus, 50, 54. And then 55 will be the lava. And you can see that all the way from up there. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, yep, through here. Yep, I'm missing that one because I'm not skilled enough. Okay, yep. Ouch, my face. And then we go up and out. Okay. Whew. Now all you have to do that is way better than how I did it. Should be easy. Okay. Next thing. Let's go. Okay. And then we're at a new spot. Let's go ahead and read what we have to do here. You can see we have a history book. So that history book we'll get to secondly. Someone put a cake. There's lots of cakes all of a sudden. That's fine. So what is it here? We have something, one of the wreckage that was been dug out. Let's read what this is supposed to be about. A wreckage of a vessel from the pre-Zed civilization has been unearthed before you. But what did these vessels look like when in their prime? One scientist recreated the vessel directly above the wreckage and used glass blocks to add on what must have been lost when this vessel fell out of the sky and landed in this spot. Do you have ideas on what this vessel might have looked like? Feel free to add yours in the area. Time to do science. Oh, see, because they think it had wings, and the wings must have fallen off, and that's how it got landed in that spot. Makes sense. It's probably true. History of the Flying Ages of the Zedania Civilization by Artemis Urer. The Zedanian peoples left evidence that their favorite pastime was flying. They created great flying ships to explore the lands of Zedania. There's one report of even a game that was played while flying around. Art found drawn on cave walls show people flying around trying to get through one of 3 large hoops. There's some debate on the translation, but one of the better players may have been named Harry. Totally not a reference to any pop culture thing at all. All right. So it was fun to take the path near, weird things, trail ruins, near jungle temples, near, those sorts of things. So you see that we do come across some. And why is it called the Western Ocean Path? Maybe I can get an image and you can see that the ocean is ginormous. And we don't always stick on the beach but we do loop the whole ocean. As you gaze upon this tranquil and wooded lake, notice the very rare and perhaps the most amazing part of adventuring over land. This lake has 4-meter tall sugarcane. Naturally spawning 4-meter tall sugarcane. Can you make 4-meter tall sugarcane? Is that a thing? If I had bone meal and I just kept bone meal and sugarcane, I think it maxes out at 3 though, right? I don't know. Do some science, let me know. 2 tall hills with a nice valley in between and a waterfall. Seems like a good place to put a path. Here I'll also add that, and this was a natural, that was just, why would water come out up there? I don't know. I've added some portals. Now, the portals will allow you to do the loop in the nether, and so the loop is very, very long, and people will get pretty tired pretty fast, and so you can get back to safety up to another spot in the loop really quickly with those portals. The nether hub, all of the people's portals are at y equals pick a number. That loop is up at like y equals 80 in the nether, so way above it, so it's not interfering with other people's portals. All right, let's take a nap. The second trail ruin along the loop road was discovered by bees and referred to as Bee's second ruin. Hold on. The History of the Terracotta Ages of the Zedania Civilization, Volume 2, by Erasmus Arthur. The Zedanian peoples left behind brilliant pottery like the one on display nearby. They used these pots to store many goods like mayonnaise and nacho cheese. While some historians disagree, it appears that nacho cheese may have been the center of their economy during the early Terracotta Ages. Queen Dot's library contained many receipts showing that new shoes cost about 2 pots of nacho cheese. Sounds legit. So that's 2 trail ruins that we've been by. Will there be a third? Yes, there will be. Ahead is the server's largest dark oak forest, by which I mean the smallest, which one time contained several woodland mansions, but then the fire of '89 destroyed most of them. History of the Zedanian Civilization during the Early Woodland Period by Darconius Irwood. Nothing remains of the many fabled woodland mansions built by the Zedanians. Historians have found many references to the great mansions in the early records. These stories include references to strange magic men called jazz handsmen, and even blue fairies that could bring you things. These were likely children's stories that most Zedanians didn't take seriously. Yeah. All right, so now you see one of those. You've all seen one of those if you've played Minecraft before. So that's not interesting. What's interesting, of course, is how dumb I am. The trail passes near an old stone temple, probably something a historian would want to talk about. I just want to say that bamboo grows super fast, and I can't wait for autocrafters. I will autocraft so many chests, mostly to hold bamboo. And then this one's probably the history book. The History of the Zedania Civilization during the later Middle Stone Temple Period by Stonificus Ermitus. The Zedanians didn't always fly around in fancy Zolkar-powered ships. They also loved digging and stonework. This old temple doesn't have any fancy stone, but they got better. I'm sure of it. I mean, this can't be the pinnacle of their achievement. It is so 1.12. I mean, when did you last make a build with only cobblestone? It's an embarrassment, really. They couldn't have used fancy tuff because that technology doesn't even exist today, or doesn't exist even today, because this was written before the tuff update. It would be fun if Mojang, went through and like updated what blocks were in some of these structures. Ooh, here's somebody else's bridge. Oh, and another one of these. Hopefully. Oh, I hear fire. Oh, that's because they used fire up there. Nice. Well, thank you for whoever built this bridge. Let's see if there's a sign. Someone taking credit. Nope. Well, anyways, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you. Cocoa beans growing on dirt. Until someone breaks them. I'm glad no one has. You can see that instead of the lightning rods, this one's have bamboo. I did that in a couple places because I was lazy and I didn't want to run back and get more lightning rods. So there's just a few of these that have that. Oh, what are we seeing up there? We're starting to see more activity. This is another cluttered area. The ocean calls. Someone left a door on the beach, and there are rumors that these beaches once contained a buried treasure. If it did, it is long gone now. When I built this path, that was just out there. So I just left it and turned it into something that you look at. It's just fun. Magic vines. Magic vines. Don't update them, they'll break. But we're back to the copper lightning rods. Another fun bridge. Well, actually a couple fun bridges here because you can see. Oh, wow, these scaffolding. There's another trail ruins over there. We won't go all the way in there. Unless, is that where I put the history book? Oh. No. Someone put some cool stuff with the little... Oh, no, we gotta go take a look. Okay, fine. I changed my mind. We're gonna go take a look. It looks like someone did some fancy stuff. First, let's read. The third trail ruins along this path was discovered by Ermal and looted by Nim. Okay, we didn't go very far. There's a whole bunch of stuff here to talk about. You know, from the door to the trail ruins to the crashed ship. Let's see what we talk about. History of the Terracotta Ages of the Zedanian Civilization, Volume 3, by Erasmus Arthur. This is where they started. Researchers believe that this beach was the original home of the early Zedanians, as this place has many relics of the old days. The trail ruins was the location of the oldest known Zedania flute, which was cut from a dolphin bone, presumably after the dolphin was harvested for its grace. The beach across contained presumably many buried artifacts. Then finally, the wrecked ship to your right is believed to be Queen Dot's royal ship, as it appears everything was done right. Means it wasn't King Set's. Who does everything wrong? Is it a ship? Or is it a boat? Perhaps even a vessel. Yeah, so two wrecked ships along the path. Okay, we're going to wait for morning and then we'll keep going. Okay, of course it's raining again. I haven't heard thunder, those stormy clouds. All right, but of course it's raining again. Let's go ahead and read what we have to see. This desert monument predates all other known civilizations. Some lingering magical power seem to have frozen the surrounding areas as the desert that once existed here. Meanwhile, the rest of the region has become a towering jungle. Who could this mysterious civilization have been? What were their powers? And where did they go? Yeah, this was a naturally spawned, just a big pile of sand in the middle of forest. And I believe it was Cinda that said, hey, I want to build a jungle temple there. And so he did, or they did. History of the Zedanians' Use of Sand by Sam Andor. The Zedanians loved how sand falls. Some think this love is why they designed their airships to fall out of the sky. Makes sense to me. These researchers are brilliant. All right, so what is this though? I mean, this is awesome. if you've seen Hermitcraft Season 10 and you watched any of his gals, you'll know that he built a big one of these. So let's read. Let's read. This obelisk was built by Iscal85 on the Hermitcraft Season 10 server. I snuck onto the Hermitcraft 10 server, sneakily replaced Iscal's original build with a styrofoam build, and moved Iscal's obelisk to the Zedcraft server. If it looks different, I'm sure it's just the lighting. Iscal uses shaders. That's probably the reason. Sure. He built it out of tough blocks. We don't have tough blocks. He also spelled something. So if you know how to translate that, he had a word that he put into his obelisk. I also have a word, a different word, one that's more appropriate for this server. Go ahead, and I leave that as an exercise to the traveler. What was that? This bridge was designed by Ermel. See, I take credit for stuff. I just want attention. Please give me more attention. And it's also one of the most boring bridges that we've come across. Everybody did so well. Oh, that's cool. Whatever that is in the distance, it's cool. Peeking its head up. As we get into the savannah, you see less and less of the moss because it stands out more and more of the poles on a lights on a pole. But when they changed it into blue lights, oh, I wonder if whoever had that one did that. That's cool. I approve. 100% approve. I think that's cool. Now, I don't know if that's somebody's actual base or if it's something that I can go visit. But I speculate they also did the bridge because it's kind of in the same colors, right? Let's see if I can find out who. Is there a name on the bridge? There's a name over here, right? T-Goth's temporary portal. Well, thank you, T-Goth, for improving this area. It looks super awesome. I believe that might be T-Goth's main base. I don't know that for sure, though. All right, what could this be about? Let's look around. Is it about lava? Is it about a sheep? Hey, okay, let's read. The Zedcraft Natural Land Bridge National Park is at your feet. A natural land bridge is a piece of land with a lot of air under it, with land below that. And you're near one. Oh, yeah, because you can come around here, and this is a land bridge. Trust me, I'm not going to get you a good view of it. Well, maybe we are a third of the way through the loop. Maybe not. Maybe a quarter. I don't know. We're just starting to head south a little bit, the path. So I don't know. We'll see how long it takes. Someone has built another wonderful building. Again, I couldn't find any credit anywhere on who built it. It's got a fake door, so you can't really go inside. So it's not a main base. It's here, I believe, for prettiness. Oh, and see this tree? How it's got these leaves going over that way. This is a big problem as you cut paths through and you cut down trees. And I would never do that. I would never do that. And so I would then go back through later and clean that up. But whoever built this, obviously, they're not in that phase yet. They were not even in the cleanup phase. So when they get there, I'm sure they will. That person built this bridge. I remember in Discord. I don't remember who it was. If I can remember it, I'll throw it on the screen. Here we are at an azalea tree. Now, you've all seen azalea trees before, but, come on, let's have fun with it. Have you ever seen the shape of azalean roots? The roots of this azalea tree have been excavated to give you a chance to see how they grow. And so you can just walk down around them. All of the normal dirts, hey buddy, you're loud, were taken out, and just the rooted dirt was left. It could be fun to look and see what those look like. Okay. This is a big bridge, and I built this bridge. Ahead is the largest bridge on the West Ocean Loop, created by Ermel. This bridge mimics another famous bridge, or so he hopes. Now, these numbers, I don't know if we've been paying attention. They should be going up one per signpost, but then I'd have an idea and I would add one somewhere, and I wouldn't always go back and update the rest. So I don't know. It'd be fun to go back and review the video at top speed and see if if that really is a thing. So what bridge do you think I'm trying to mimic? Oh, someone made a musical bridge. Yeah, he's excited about it too. And it says, experience the correct order from the other direction. Okay, so let's get over the other direction. Okay. A Bohemian Bridge featuring Queen by Mavericks. Now, do I got to step on like this, then that? Okay, let's just experiment. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I've never been here. Let's try it. I probably didn't do it right. We'll just move on. Now there's a build up here. Again, this side of the map had very little things to look at, so I invented some things. Well, what does this look like? Before we read about it, what does this look like? And what is that guy doing all the way up there? Watch as trained workers try to restore this building. How it became so coated in mud is a mystery. So they're cleaning it, and when they clean it, it becomes purple. History of the Zolkar cities in the late Zedanian civilization by Enderman. Enderman? While some historians don't believe that Zolkars were real, the excavation of this site has uncovered strange brown shells that don't really match any known animal today. Could these shells be a part of the legendary Zolkar? Could this structure be a pen dedicated to raising and taming these unknown creatures? Could the piles of pots containing mayonnaise be a source of food for them? We may never know. We may never know. All right. In case I didn't mention it before, right, there's a lot of vines that come off these things. And I let some come through, but some I just destroyed completely. Some I would put string way up on there so that it wouldn't be as bad. You need some because it's a jungle, but man, you can have so many vines. It really is annoying. So I tried to be careful about how many vines I allowed to be here. Okay, what is this? All right, let's see. There's a little path going somewhere, and there's a book. I don't see exactly what it is to begin with, so let's just read. And let's actually, because I know I'm taking the path. A second jungle temple is just down this skinny path. Go check out the history book of this very interesting site. Ah, so there's a history book. But it's not here. Okay. So let's go check it out. It feels like you're more in the jungle, right? Because it's a one wide path. You see how it just kind of feels different? Like, ooh, now I'm like really exploring and I'm really off the beaten path. History of the Zedania Civilization during the later Middle Stone Temple Period, Volume 2 by Stonificus Eremitus. King Zed's great-great-great-grandfather, Zed the Greater, was exiled from central Zedania due to common problems with gas. Zed the Greater didn't have to live here full time, according to lore, only when he wanted to celebrate Taco Tuesdays. He was also not alone. In fact, this facility was visited so often by other princes that for a while it was called the Temple of Tango. And this sign says public restrooms downstairs. Well, that's weird. Yep, the Temple of Gas. There's candles, just so you know, so it doesn't smell quite as bad as it used to. Yeah, Tango. Make sure you light the candles when you're done, Tango. All right, well, this is a new area. Somebody must have moved in. Looks like maybe a starter base. I don't know who this is. Let's find out. The Starter House, TM. Oh, very cool. Thank you for moving in along the path. I got some beacons going already. Very cool. Hopefully they're finding all the coolness around here that they had ever hoped for. Ooh, well, I know he's around here. Now, when I asked for bridges to be built from the community, and the community came in, the first response was the one we see in front of me. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I can put a thing explaining all the different bridges and stuff. We'll see. Signpost 52. It's not number 52. This bridge was built by Whisker McGee. McGee was born along this river in a house they built with their own hands. This bridge represents McGee's many trials and tribulations, with the red representing redstone spaceships. Yeah, so thank you, Whiskers McGee. Okay. You cut down so many trees when you make a path like this. And those dumb trees, that are a pain to cut down because you always miss a block. I got lazy, okay? It was just, no, don't ask, okay? We won't talk about it. Ahead of you is an empty hive from Apis laziscus, also known as the lazy honeybee. These honeybees are known to be so lazy that they can't even be bothered to fly into the trees to make their hive. The thing is, I don't know if that's naturally spawning, but I didn't put it there. So maybe somebody else came by and put it there. And maybe it was the tree. I cut down a tree or something, and I don't know. But then later on, when I was building the path, I like let's leave it. Let's make that a story in the path. Okay, up here we're gonna come across a pretty big build, and we're gonna explore it because it's part of the reason for the path. But we'll take a sleep and we'll get into exploring mode. All right, what could this be? Let's find out. The Zedcraft mob arena, built by Ermol, houses all the hostile mobs with a little fun, and maybe not all of them, but most of them. Spend some time with the worst denizens of Zedcraft. Okay, I will. I'll spend time with the worst denizens of Zedcraft. So these lights that you see as you walk into the museum, I stole this idea from Linksy. He did this in one of his builds. I thought that is cool. I'm stealing it. So thank you, Linksy. I stole your idea. Oh, I wanted the kind of the funnest, weirdest mobs to be right up front, but I didn't get them all. But you can see that I talk about them, even though I didn't get them all. Like a chicken jockey. Yep. Now, the thorny Zeradicator. Zed died to a armor stand. Was it this season or last season? I don't remember. So that we'll pretend is that. Skeleton horse with rider. Did not get. And a stray spider jockey. Pretty cool, huh? You didn't know you can get those, did ya? I bet you've never seen a stray spider jockey, have ya? Yeah, well, this is what you get on Zedcraft. All right, so let's read more about it. Oh, I think I just said all this stuff. Let's not read more about it. Okay, now if you come up here and you want to see there's milk here, so guess what you can see? Press the button for Spookster. And then you have to wait a second because it comes all the way from the bottom of the world. Give it a second. There he is. He doesn't see me, but he doesn't have to see me for me to get the ouchie effect. Okay, well, let's keep looking around. On the top here, there's supposed to be a ghast, and there is a flying rat, what are those called? The rest of the mobs, you have to go down below to see. Yeah, the zombie has a bow. Now, you've probably seen that, because you've probably seen a zombie pick up your bow, and that's what happened there. The naughty child. Yes. The Tridentinator. So not just any one, but the trident throwing one. Poisonous spider. Don't eat it. The reason why it's still in that is because I was afraid that if I knocked it out of that cart, that it would come out of whatever hole I had made to get me out, and I didn't want it escaping, so I just left it in there. A stinky spider. And, of course, the Cheshire Spider. Come on, turn around. Come on, turn around. All right, well, he's not going to... Oh, there he is, Cheshire Spider. Full village of flower gardeners. I got most of them to pick up flowers, but any little block around they pick up, then they never... They will change it for like a weapon, but I wanted them to keep their flowers. But I got quite a few more flowers. Let's see. Halloween costume demonstrator. Ermel's first girlfriend, cold as ice. That's another stray. Hi, stray. A hermit recruiter. Yep, that's what he does. Jazzy blues. Beginner man. He's got to stay in the cart. Because if I take him out of the cart, he can teleport through the walls. So you can see why he's got to be in the cart. Mumbo Killer. Yeah, remember when this guy killed Mumbo? Yeah, we remember. Tallbeard the Blackheart. Now this is interesting, right? Zombie piglins. But you have an axe guy. Where did he come from? A sword guy. A crossbow guy. And a rail guy. Yep, that's what you got. Zoglin, or Zoglout, the Zoglin. That's funny. I'm so funny. Party starters. Melee rider on ugly horse. Now, how often does this happen? Is this the thing? Because you can get the evokers and you can get the bow guys. But I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it happens every raid, but I thought it was interesting. Magma cream. Well, somebody added a little something to it. Let's get rid of that. Boom. Done. And that's more than one magma cream. I wonder if something happened. Booger cream. Star-Lord and Gamora. The Guardians. The Killer Rabbit of Care Barnog. I caught it. Whalmer Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, so it's just silly stuff. Silly stuff. You got them all in there. You made an arena. Made the arena look cool. There is no gas. I never did get all the bugs and all the mobs to be in here. Let's just fly through it real quick so you can kind of get a sense of the scale. Nobody builds in acacia biomes in savannas. Name a build. Name a famous build where they went and they picked the acacia biome. So I felt safe saying, you know what? No one's built out here in the acacia biomes. Let me add things, and I'll add them in acacia biomes because nobody's going to be mad. No one's going to be like, oh, you took the best spot. They're all going to be like, yeah, nobody builds in acacia biomes. So that's why I did, because I knew that I wasn't ruining anybody's, base plans. Because nobody builds there. All right, well, let's get going. Right, now we're definitely southeast. We're definitely not going to go much more west. It's going to be east, mostly southeast. And not too long from here, we're going to turn and be east-east. Let's get going. How high can spider spawner spawn? I don't know, but there's one just down there. There is. I'm not going to show you, but it's just down there. Okay. Again, maybe lazy. But if you can be lazy in a fun way, like, well, I could cut down this tree because I want the path to go through here. Or, yeah. This tree is so large, you can ride a horse through it. Booyah. Better to add some visual interest every so often. Now, this bridge is cool. I don't know who built this, but someone built like a fallen over tree. This is super cool idea. You can see that I put these slabs in. There's no slabs. Maybe I'll go back and get some slabs and add those in. But very cool. Okay. Overland paths are fun, and I could have just gone over the mountain. But every once in a while, have fun with it, right? Let's go into the mountain. Let's and not make it look like it's just a tunnel. Try to add some features. You want them to be simple because you're going to be adding a bunch of them, but you want them to be still visually interesting. Now, it just so happens that on the other side of this tunnel is the Halloween district. So the whole server, there was these seasonal districts, and we all get together and build at. So that's why I'm like, spooky stuff ahead, go back. And you kind of make it sound like, because it's kind of scary or something. I don't know. It was silly. I don't know. Maybe it was dumb. Anything to break the monotony. A little bit of water here, a little bit of low-hanging wall there. You don't see the trusses going across there for a stretch. It's like, oh, they broke or whatever. A little bit of a trench chasm running right through the mountain. Someone else's bridge. This is very nice. Very nice. Thank you, whoever built this. Ooh, they even got the nice little detail. That's awesome. Yeah, very cool. And some of the special flowers too. A plus. We go into the swamp. So the spooky district's going to be near the swamp. It's a good place for a spooky district. So when I got to the swamp and I'm building the path, I'm like, well, what do? I want to go through the swamp, but I don't want to build up this land bridge. So I thought this sort of walkway through the swamp would be pretty cool. All right, so let's read these. Witches' huts are rare, but very, very uninspiring. I propose that Witches' huts get an upgrade in some future version. Keep your eyes open on the boardwalk or you might miss it. Also, there's some strange 100-meter tall tree in the background. Weird. Yeah, that's a weird tree. So weird. Well, let's read about the history of the area. History of Witches and Wizards of the Zedanian Civilization by Hermostia Bagshot. It is unlikely that wizards and witches existed during this era. This particular hut would have deteriorated over the era, so this hut was likely built recently. This hut is likely Zed's hiding place when he is in trouble with Dot. This hut, yeah, you have to pay attention. It's right there. All right, welcome to the Spooky District. The Ocean Loop goes back this way. The Fall District is right here. Wonderful server-wide event area ahead. Zedcraft certainly knows how to throw a party. Right in front of you is the pumpkin carving area decorated by your favorite local Zedcrafters. So why not have the path just go through the district? I built some of this path after the district was in place, so those roads that somebody had already built through the district, so I just added onto that. So if you ever have a chance to download this world and kind of play on it, you can go and look at all the fun things people built in their pumpkin patch. But there's more. Here is also fun to light up the path with the jack-o'-lanterns visible, right? Because now we're in the spooky district. So instead of covering them with moss carpet, like, no, just leave them out. Leave them, people can see them. So what else was in the spooky district this season? Ugh, more mud. Did you hear that noise? That was the noise of walking through the mud. A corn maze, a hay maze. Ocean path goes back and forth. Pumpkin patch to your left. Gravels and portal to the right. Oh, boom. Hay maze. This isn't necessarily for the path. This is just already there. So if you want to play that game, that's how you play that game. The cemetery. I did not make a cemetery plot. That is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep going. Some sort of witch's hut there in the background. Hag's Lair. Again, these weren't built for the path. These were built as a part of the spooky event. So we will skip some of these. It's just kind of cool to remember the fun we had when we built all these things. The portal is in this giant pumpkin. That's a zombie Willy the Worm. To Red Feather Mansion. And also because of that, you can see we're going to the path. Someone built kind of like an escape room So that's what this big build up here is. Go in, I guess it locks you in. You got to get locked out or unlock it. I don't know. I didn't do it. But ZF did it, and so you can probably see his VOD. And again, this is just the same thing the other one says. Welcome to the seasonal district. And now we are leaving the seasonal district, and we're leaving the swamp. So, I mean, that's a question I have, right? On your own world, when you get a skeleton horse spawn and it's a trap, so you get close and it pops all the skellies, do you try to keep one with the skeleton attached, or do you just try to take out all the skeletons and just keep the horses? I'm the former. I always try to keep a skeleton alive on one of them and hide them away somewhere in some sort of, um, you know, museum or zoo or whatever. We are going to get into places where there's more builds. I believe, though, whoever built this tent built the tent because of the path, just to add some visual interest along the path. It's a little out of the way, but if you come in the other direction, you see it. If you come in the direction I came, it's harder to see. I just remembered it's there. The Spring District is just up ahead. Now, what we never did is connect the Spring District island. It's an island just in the off the ocean here. So the ocean, little island. It's not really that little. We made it bigger. We are just on the mainland to the south of it. We never really connected it. I always thought I wanted to, but like where? Like they kind of filled in all the edges. And then there never was really a great spot to bring. Looks like someone's been busy in the distance. Pillager towers can be dangerous, but this one has a switch. But only explore if you get permission from its owner. Yeah, someone made a farm for the raid. The Bad Omen farm, I guess is what you might call it. A nice wildflower area, right? I mean, we're still, oh, you can't see it anymore, but that's the Spring District. So, I mean, it all fits. Just slightly dipping our toes into a flowery flower biome of flowery goodness. The biome is actually quite a bit larger, but it's also someone's base. So that's why we like really hugged the coast to not interfere with their base activities. Oh yeah, someone built this bridge. No, I mean obviously somebody built it. It wasn't naturally spawning, but it's not me. Somebody else. Now I had left this actually just kind of your plain stone brick. Somebody had come through here later and really made it nice. This is a lot of fun. The bridge or the tunnel goes over this chasm, and it's like, let's make. I think I don't. Did I put the glass? Somebody decided this should be glass. Oh, this is pretty spooky. Ooh. It's funny though. Now again, how do you make the path through here? Here you can see I went with the let's just make dirt and then make the path block. I could have done the wood, just the wood every so often. I felt that in this case, this color contrast was better. This contrast with the sand is very samey. and I didn't like it as much. And thanks to, again, awesome builders out there who decided, hey, let's put this bridge in. Now, this bridge was very complex because it's an angle and you go up. So it's got a lot of those weird things. Yeah, people love making bases in this area. Right, this is a very popular biome. When you're on your own world and you start a new world and you're walking around and you come across, the painted desert, you're like, I'm going to build a base here. And that's what people do. Fill this in later. Okay. I wonder if by thinking when I put that down that I would say just what I just said, that there's a lot of reasons to build in this base. Okay, I said I avoided as much as possible using stairs, and you haven't seen any until now. This was such a steep, and I could have put a bridge maybe. I could have done a lot of different things. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe this was the right call. Maybe this was the wrong call. Stairs. It does feel like it's out of place, but maybe just having one of those again, that interest, that visual interest of something rare. Let's see. Is that the unpleasant end of a pink frog in the distance? Someone should keep watch on it to make sure it doesn't turn evil and try to take over the server. Yep, that's a frog. There were several people that based in this biome. These aren't just one person. There's a handful of people who's kind of button up each other. And then I put this path kind of winding in between all the other people's work. Because a path across the server can be a lot of fun, but people join the server to make amazing builds, and if your path doesn't fit their theme, it can also be very frustrating. So you need to honor that people's builds come first, the path comes second. Look at that guy. Yep. Cactus growing to unimaginable heights. What magic is this? I bet Tone has been here. Deserts are another biome that it's tough to build in, but I think a lot of people might choose to build in a desert instead of the savanna, just because there are some, I don't know, like you're forcing yourself to go to an austere place. You might as well go all the way austere, right? Let's see. Bridge by Small Blue Goblin. Thank you, Small. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Bridge theme using local resources, 2 sand colors. Bridge by Simo 14 Mavericks and Slip Digby. Thank you guys. Now this bridge. Okay, I can't really see it from here. Hold on, let's get off the guy for a second. This is amazing. This is great. Not just the bridge, obviously, which is great, but just the whole view from here. This is natural. Like this water naturally came down into this lush cave. And it's like, oh man, how are we gonna we should do something. This is so cool. The bridge has to be epic to like match the the epicness. And they did a great job. These are not cheap. All right, we're going to take a sleep and we're going to head to the next bridge. All right, so now someone had a lot of fun with this bridge. Obviously, these are not local resources. So if the theme of the last bridge was local resources, this was not that theme. This is a lot of fun. And they even built an igloo with all the, it doesn't have all the stuff in it. All right, let's see who this is. Bridge theme, opposite biome by Simo 14 and Mavericks. Thank you. That looks awesome. All right, so in this area, we have the end portal, the server end portal is just to the left over there down the path. You have a place that was taken over by people to kind of get resources early in the game, very early on. It helped. There's camels there. There's all sorts of funny stuff there to kind of get things going. Now, also something that's around here, naturally spawning grass on path block. You can't place it, but it can spawn there naturally. So this is the Museum of Grass Growing on Path Block. And this says the same thing. There's magic in these hills. Rumor has it that there is a beach-themed portal to another dimension to the west and a camel retreat to the east. Try not to be bewitched while traveling around here. And, back in the day, they had built this path so you can get your camel. And the idea is that we were going to fight the Ender Dragon on camel. So you would get your camel, and then you'd go fight the Ender Dragon. Let's just take a look. This isn't necessarily part of the path, per se. This was all built here way before the path was put in. It's a fun little build, so let's just take a look at it for memory's sake. So the end portal is at the bottom of that swimming pool. So you go to the swimming pool and you swim down. So taking your camel was tricky, but, people figured it out. Also on Zedcraft server is a shopping district where you're encouraged to go build your shops. And thank you, whoever put this. It's like it's a pontoon bridge. That's kind of cool. Thank you to whoever made that. And at one end of the shopping district, someone had built a mall. The idea is that you could, do as you see fit in the mall spaces. So a lot of people put their shops in the mall. We'll just take a moment to just appreciate the size and scale and the coolness of the mall. Places down the middle for smaller shops, bigger shops on the side. And the path goes right through it. And then out into the main shopping district. So again, this path is here mainly for the mall, but I hijacked it and used it for part of the Western Ocean path. It may not be super clear where the Western Ocean path goes from here, but you turn left. It's not really good signs. You can see these maybe in the distance. That'll help you. Not like a big sign saying go this way. If you just remember these lampposts, you'll always stay on the path. So that was the shopping district. It goes way over that way. We just barely dipped into the shopping district. It's much, much bigger. Now what you'll see here is the Hall of Achievements, mimicking how Zedap did a bunch of achievements in his season. Those same achievements are repeatable, or many of them at least, up at the top of this mountain. And then to the left is the residential district, where people are encouraged to build a starter house before they go off and build their main base. So we can just read this. The Western Ocean Path. Like a winner of a race, you have achieved a circumnavigation around the Great Western Ocean. Or you're just starting, depending on which direction you're heading, I guess, which is also cool. Why did I decide to number the signpost? Now I have to update all the signposts every time I add one. I don't even know if that's the right number. I think I just gave up and started putting crazy. We're not going to go up there. That's not part of the path. It's cool, though. A more plain bridge, but I still appreciate somebody doing it for me. Oh, somebody... See, I wouldn't have left that way. So when they did the bridge, maybe they updated the ground. Oh, tisk, tisk, tisk. You really start to see a lot more Zermit activity. You can tell I left this and no one had improved it, which is fine. So let's just appreciate that the path now goes to the residential district. Yeah, some people are pretty creative, like a balloon for your starter base with a big anchor. That's cool. Spaceships. You can just spend some time wandering around here. There's a lot of people that have done a lot of different things. It's really cool. Bridges. But we'll stay to the path. Is that a pot, a clay pot? Cactus. That's like what's the art style? Zeus? Seuss? Dr. Seuss. Kind of art style. That's cool. I approve. A frog. I wouldn't necessarily use stairs. I try to avoid them, but this was put in by other people, and I just attached the Western Ocean path to this path. And people built up high, people built down low. We started in the cherry forest, and guess where we're ending up, folks? Here we have done it. Well, let's go ahead and put our horse away, and then we're going to look at our statistics. We did most of it on horse. Now, I walked around here and there, and I flew around here and there, but I think if I just look at the horse statistics, and then we compare that with what was at the beginning, then we can have a number. I don't know why I left him in that one spot. Is there an actual spot to leave him? Okay, buddy. All right, let's look at it. So we're going to go to statistics. We're going to go to distance by horse. Okay, I don't remember what this number was in front. Well, let's write this down, and I'll be right back and tell you how many kms the Western Ocean path is. All right, so I went back and looked at all the numbers, and here is where we stand out. We were at traveled by horse, 351.91, and my new number, 413.7. I'll do the math for you. It's about 62 kilometers. So a kilometer being 1,000 meters and a block being a meter. So 62,000 blocks long. That's how long the Western Ocean path is. That is more blocks than I am old. I am not 62,000 years old. All right, well, anyways, thank you for all of that. It was fun putting the loop in. It was fun getting it recorded before the end of the season. The season ends officially, I think, tomorrow, maybe early morning the next day. So, getting this recorded before all that was a lot of fun. So I'm going to fly back home, put all my gear into a box so that when the season ends and I start this world up again, I can have all that gear back. But this has been fun. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you see, give me a jammer or give me a comment on Discord or hit me up below. Just a lot of fun. We'll talk about it later. Maybe we'll do some more pathing in the next season. All right, this was Ermel signing off. Take care, guys.